Where were you, Nancy Pelosi, by the way, and Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in 2018? Did you forget already?
Respectfully, shouldn't that be done by a commission or the city council, not a mob in the middle of the night throwing it into the harbor?
People will do what they do.
There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa? That's happening in Portland right now? There's riots.
That's a myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
About Antifa in Portland?
Yes.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
This is mostly a protest. It is not, generally speaking, unruly, but fires have been started.
Perhaps this is some sort of mechanism for a restructure in our country.
Okay, what did they just say? Make matters worse, you had some actually praising Antifa or Antifa, whatever you prefer. That's the radical group whose anarchist members were hell-bent on fomenting violence. We can remind you of that also. Take a look.
What are they really? I know their name is anti-fascist. Do they only go after fascists, or do they go after anybody, say, in the global economic community they don't like?
No, they are strictly principled anti-fascists. And what they see in the Trump administration and what they see happening in this country, they see the neo-fascism that we see.
A lot of people recognize that when pushed, self-defense is a legitimate response to white supremacist and neo-Nazi violence.
It says it right in the name, Antifa, anti-fascism, which is what they were there fighting. Listen, there's, no organization is perfect. There was some violence.
No organization's perfect. There's some violence. Huh? Sadly, Democrats, the mob, the media, they weren't just defending Antifa and ignoring the carnage. Instead, many prominent Democrats, they were on the front lines, actually glorifying violence against the president and his supporters. How quickly they all forget. One thing I can promise people over the next number of years, I have a really good memory. I'm not going to forget, and I'll often remind you. In case you forget. Take a look.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
How dare he say the things he does? Of course I want to punch him in the face.
Right.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd.
When they go low, we kick them.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
I'll put Mr. Burgess up against Sean Hannity. He'll tear him up.
The press always asks me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym. That's what I wish.